Peace, peace, family. So we back with another one. Today what I want to do was I want to talk to my chosen ones about the enemy statement. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just doing me. Man, this statement is so overly used. It becomes really frustrating to hear people say that I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just doing me. If every tree start doing themselves, then it would be a lot of unalive trees next to some of these other trees. We all affect each other to a degree. It's weird to me that people, I'm just going to say, are so demonic. I don't want to use people are lost for this statement because we all had parents who affected us, them doing them. You know, and if you can't use your own life, if you cannot use your own life as an example, then how would you be able to come up with the right correlations and confirmations for you to know that certain things are actually going on and taking place? I hate when I see men out here say, I'm just doing me. I'm just doing me. I'm just getting to the money. I'm getting to the bag, You know, but then you may be getting to the bag, but then you walking around with your pants all the way down. I grew up in this generation, so I understand like a little bit of sag, you know, at a certain age. Once you transition, there's no more sag. Teenagers, you know, you expect them to do that. You know, it's kind of like being a teenager is like being a baby. You're not going to crawl and walk forever. So when you're going through them teenage years, you know, we all trying to figure out how to be relatable and fit into, you know, the crowd until we get to a certain level, and then we shouldn't be doing those things anymore. But it's weird to me when I see people, especially males, go out and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on outfits, you know, hundreds of dollars on boxers to show off the label, and now you have to wear your stuff all the way down. It's like, before I had a daughter, I didn't put this much emphasis on a lot of this stuff, but since I have to do a lot more sacrificing now since she is here, it makes me pay more attention and be more attentive to these kinds of things. You know what I mean? And I don't want her in a space, even if she does, she gonna do what she do. It's my job to guide. But I don't want her thinking that, oh, daddy think it's okay if, you know, you find a leader who walks around and, you know, he got everything just hanging out because he don't want to pull his pants up. Or some of the other guys, their pants are just way too small. It just looks really awkward. It looks really uncomfortable. And then if you let them tell it, I'm just doing me. The crazy thing about the guys in tight jeans, right? Because I don't mind fitted, but I don't do skinnies. I just like, I've always did even just fitted shirts, like not tight, just fitted. And what's crazy is when I was young growing up, we used to make fun of the Marlboro commercials, the cigarettes, because the Marlboro guy, he used to walk around with his cowboy boots on and tight jeans, and we all used to joke around and say he probably gonna get a yeast infection walking around with these tight jeans on. And now that's actually the style that's in place, and everyone feels that they need to do the same thing. It's weird seeing like 40-year-old men, 50-year-old men in skinny jeans. Like, it's hard to distinguish, again, the older generation from the younger generation, because I've seen a lot of the younger men in, like, I've seen 16, 17-year-olds, and I've thought they was like UVA, you know, college football players, because the generation is just built differently. The men are, like, some of the males are built way bigger than what we were. And each generation, when I look in my bloodline, it does the same thing. My dad isn't that tall. My older brother is about my dad's height. Then I'm taller than them, but then my younger brother on both sides, mom and dad's side, are both taller than me. Then my youngest brother is just about as tall, if not taller than my younger brother. So whatever they doing with the hormones and the chemicals in the food, you know, shit falling from the sky, it's doing its thing. And then a lot of them, you can't be out here like saying you get into the bag and you hurting people in the process, but say you doing you. You know what I mean? When I see people and males out here still hustling like the substances that's hurting people, to me it's no different than the legal prostitution that women do now. You know, it's a lot of legal prostitution. It's a lot of legal drug dealers. You know, a lot of these things used to be a no-no. And my generation growing up was catching the tail end of people who actually used to reject people who used to sell those illegal substances in certain areas. You know, it used to be a lot of pushback against that. And the legal prostitution used to be more secluded. It wasn't as in your face. It used to be a lot more hidden. But now everything is just so out there in your face. You know what I mean? And literally anything goes as long as you say you doing it for you. You ain't worried about anybody else. Even if you don't have children, you're still affecting the ones around you. You know what I mean? And that's just as far as for the men, you know, and it's probably more talking points that I could grab based on as far as for the men and how they operating out here and saying that they just doing them and, you know, condoning and they're allowing some of this witchery because they're warlocks. They're allowing more of this witchery to last because they're feeding into it, you know. So if you say that you don't, we all should, you know, try to get to a healthier space, then we should be pushing each other to be healthier, even if it's the harsh truth. You know what I mean? And the truth is hurting a lot of people right now. A lot of people are hurting from the truth. Then you got the other side of the spectrum who loves to say, I'm just doing me. It's weird when I see, you know, mothers saying that they doing them because you got a whole generation that's coming up behind you and you're not fully prepared. You don't have things structured or set up in place. Half of them don't even have a leader. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have a main person like a spousal, you know, you should have one male that you can go to for leadership that should be willing to lead, you know, because everybody doesn't have a father around. So if your father isn't around, then you should have a healthy cousin, you know, a healthy uncle. The system's so damn demonic, you just might have to have a healthy peer, you know what I mean? That's a masculine man that you can go to for guidance, you know, and he's not thinking, putting you in a sexual category box, because most family members and siblings and things aren't going to put you in this box. So that's what allows them to be able to give you a better assessment as far as the beings that you have around you. But then you also have the ones who just feel as though we can wear and dress however we want to because we aren't hurting anyone. And once again, it's like just because you don't have a child doesn't mean that you aren't walking around oozing sex, you know? It's kind of like not speaking and then speaking to someone's sacral chakra silently, you know what I mean? It's like, why induce and entice these things if that's not something that has to be done? You know what I mean? And it's like, if we're working on desexualizing a lot of things, why do you feel as though, oh, okay, I can just do me and it's not bothering anybody. I can wear whatever I want to wear and it's not affecting anyone. if the things that we do in our day-to-day life isn't affecting anyone, we can all go out here and just start damaging ourselves and damaging only the people that's in our box, because it's not hurting the rest of the world. It starts from somewhere. It starts from somewhere. That's why you can go all over the world to other cultures and you can see that they don't operate the way we operate like this out here. Like, it's so much selfishness out here. Like, we are all one to a degree, and humans are going to interact with each other and engage with each other. It's just that simple. I don't give a damn how isolated you think you are. Like, oh yeah, I do it by myself. If you work a job, you got somebody cutting your check. If you got your own business, you got customers and clients that's paying you, so you're still engaging with people. You know, there is no escaping human interaction unless you like on like what's that weird movie where Tom something, he was on the island. I forgot the movie, but he was on an island and he was talking to a ball. That's crazy. I wouldn't feel the need to talk to a ball. If anything, I would have grabbed or communicated with some of the birds or the other creatures if I really need to talk, if I went that long without using any of this verbal language. You know what I mean? But everything we do is affecting us. Everything we do, everything they do affects us. So this weird thing of I'm just doing me, man, I'm over the top with this whole statement of just doing me. If you don't see how you are affecting the ones around you, then we're gonna have to swipe left on you the first chance we get. On to your next journey. You got to get out of here. Like, when it comes to rebuilding communities and tribes, everybody has to be on the same accord. You can be your own unique person, but we all have to be on the same accord. You know what I mean? And with us being so off balance and everybody just okaying everything because the system allows it, like a lot of things that are systematically allowed and that's legal are really going against nature or the creator's principles and values that's been established and set in place for us to walk this way of life. You know, we are some of the most intelligent beings, so some of us eat meat, some of us don't eat meat. It all depends on where your culture was blueprinted at. If you blueprinted in the desert, 10 times out of 10, you're gonna have to have some kind of meat sources. You're gonna have to do some hunting because it's only but so much vegetation you can grow. So it's weird that everybody thinks that we all would live the exact same way, which is retarded to me. You know, if I'm living in a space, I'm in Virginia now, so this space in Virginia has vegetation, you know, it has plenty of water between the ocean beside me, and then we got a lot of lakes and rivers in here as well too. And then it's a lot of natural nature, so you can grow, hunt, fish. If your culture was in this kind of area, then you have a multitude of things of how you could live, you know. But you cannot come from the desert eating meats because that's where you was at, and now you're over in a place like Virginia and they're telling you, hey, meat's bad for you, meat's bad for you. You could say this vegetation is bad for you. You know how much chemicals they put in the soil? Half of our vegetation that we get don't even come with seeds anymore. A lot of it's manufactured, you know what I mean? So it's like, that process is something different in itself, you know. It's something different in itself. You can do your best as you can as far as trying to figure out, I'm going to eat this meat, I'm not going to eat that meat. You know what I mean? But if you look at animals as a living organism, then you got to see plants as a living organism. That's what makes sense to me. You know what I mean? So to a degree, you still killing plant life so you can eat. What happens is we are over excessive. People used to only hunt what they needed and then store off a little bit for what they would need later. You know, vegetation, you can kind of grow. You pull off what you need, and you stay tending to it so it can be ready for the next season. We all affect each other. If you look at some of the stuff that was happening when you was younger, and you can see it now, you can see how effective it is. When I was little, females wasn't wearing those 10-inch eyelashes. Like, that shit is retarded. I don't know who said those dumbass lashes was cute or fun, but they look stupid as hell. They look stupid. Like, anytime I see eyelashes, I hate eyelashes more than I hate makeup. Makeup I could wiggle around, because some people can use it very lightly and it doesn't contort who they are. You know, they don't do all these massive color changes. They just actually find blends that go well with their complexion. You know what I mean? So that's completely different. But when you got the sorcery on the other end, it just becomes way too much. You know what I mean? And I don't see how women not see this as a problem. Like, you say you don't, like, if I were to do me as a man, right? And let's say, oh yeah, I just want to do me. I'm just gonna only game and eat pizza and chips and all this stuff, and I got real fat and out of shape and I wasn't engaging with people. How could I put myself in a delusional state to say that I deserve somebody who is going to be loyal, faithful, and follow my leadership? That don't make any sense to me. But on the other side, we got a lot of females on that side of the spectrum, which in Western culture, women have been given way too much power. Way too much power. So much power to where you can falsely accuse somebody of something, and then they still have to go through the trials and tribulations of those false accusations. And it's like, yeah, it becomes not worth even opening the door or engaging anymore. You know what I mean? It's not worth it. Like, if I'm gonna go down in history, I want to go down for something that I did. As a brown male in the States, I've already been subjugated to a lot of things that was out of my control. I faced a lot of ignorance and ignorant people, male and female. So to be in that space, it's weird. It's weird. And it really goes to show how insecure we are about ourselves. I know a lot of people try to say, oh, I'm just doing me, it's for fun. When I put this on, it's not hurting anybody else. It is. It's deceptive. You can go to other cultures and you can see women of all ranges and ages take care of themselves. They take a long time sometimes to do their hair, even if it's just a plain Jane style. You know what I mean? They still either do their nails or file their nails. They just don't put fake nails on top of them. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't 10-inch fake lashes sitting up there on their face. You know, like, a lot of people haven't even looked into the meaning of these things to even understand. It's kind of like how we all indulged into Halloween and Christmas, and then as we learned the difference between Halloween and Christmas, a lot of us was like, you know what, I don't want to celebrate these pagan holidays anymore. I don't want to give any more time and energy or any little bit of resources I have to the opposition to allow them to continue to grow. So if you understand that make up is its name, you're making up something you're not. So if we can get rid of all of these deceptions and stop assuming I'm just doing me, because you don't know who's watching you and admiring you. You know, while you're leaving out the house, some girls around the neighborhood that's way younger than you may not tell you, but they admire the way you look and you present yourself and carry yourself. So why not give them a better presentation to put them in a better position? Because when they see other females around their age doing that, and then they start doing it, that usually puts them in really bad situations. They usually end up in really bad situations, you know. And then it's usually more welcoming to the witchy guys on the other side of the playbook that say, oh, I'm just doing me. They say they don't care about a woman's presentation. Any man that says he doesn't care about a woman's presentation, he only wants the box. It's that simple. Once we become one, as a male, as a leader, it becomes our body. I know a lot of women might hate that, and they say that, oh, well, it's my body, my choice, my body, my choice. It is yours and your choice to a degree when you not with me. But when you with me, you gonna have to keep your shit together. It's that simple. If you was already doing all of that, then my body, my choice wouldn't even be a thing. You would just be falling in line and we would be in sync. Once there's a baby in there, it's not your body anymore. You share that vessel. You are the spiritual being maintaining that vessel, and then once you become pregnant, that seed enters. Now it is our vessel. It's not just yours. It's weird when people say these things, or women say, yo, well, it's my body that's going through this and has to. God designed it that way, dumbass. He didn't design it for me to carry the seed of life and birth the seed of life. God didn't create it that way. So why are you saying, oh, whoa, that's like a man saying, whoa, I got 2 feet, I gotta walk. Like, duh, dumbass, you got 2 feet, you're supposed to walk. Most little people, we start walking at first opportunity, first chance we get. We start learning to walk and to do these different things. You know what I mean? We see other humans walking because we're crawling. We're fighting. First we're just rolling, you know, and then we start crawling. Then we start taking like little steps to trying to stand. Then we start walking because we saw all the other humans walking. If you was an infant and you saw only people crawling around, you probably would be more subjugated to be a crawler for a very long time until you realize, okay, yeah, I can stand up and do this, but I do crawl most of the time. It's kind of like when you see, what's that jungle movie? I forget. I haven't watched movies in so long. My mind be going blank when I be wanting to make movie references. But Tarzan, you know what I mean? He swung from the vines, but if you notice when you watch his cartoons, he spent a lot of his time, you know, running on all fours, doing these things because that's what he saw. We have to do a better job at understanding that whether you have a child or no child, what you do does affect the people around you. You know, this I'm doing me, I don't care what they doing. Yeah, that vibration is good when you're moving with Source and Creator. Keep that energy when you're moving with Source and Creator, because that is the energy that's going to stand and outshine above the rest. But when you moving with the opposition in these demonic teams, best believe you about to get worked on. Best believe you are about to get worked on. Keep these things in mind, because I know a lot of people are in a place where they feel like, oh, well, I don't want to have any more. I don't want to have any children. Why would I want to bring children into this realm? Like, stupid motherfucker, you here. You realize your genetics are done once you don't have any more seeds, right? I mean, the ones before you that fought and lived, you don't know what these people went through and survived for you to get here is here, and now you don't want to carry on your genetics because it's too expensive. You can look all over the world. You got poor people, what they call poor, still having families, still creating value within their self. They are still happy. But the people who want to keep up with the Joneses, the people who follow that demonic playbook, I don't want to struggle my whole life. Bitch, life is a struggle. I don't want to struggle. Bitch, life is a struggle. Why you think all the rich people be having the most health issues? You're going to have struggles and issues no matter where you turn or look at it. So the best thing you can at least do is stand solid on, you know, moving with the Creator and Source, your principles, values, and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And understand you do impact the ones around you. You do. So when you start hearing the other team use this statement, or if you was one of them people that used it, I'm just doing me, I'm just doing me. There is no just doing me. That's a blind leading the blind. That's a misconception statement. You doing you is working with the other team. You think you're doing you, but you're really working with the other team, which is going against the creator and source. You know what I mean? I can go on about this subject, and I probably missed a couple points, but I've been going. I got some things I gotta take care of today, so I'm gonna leave it right there where it's at. I appreciate all the love and support. Y'all tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.